shared prosperity among its members. Our distinguished panelists for these sessions are Mr. Lawal Muhammad Maidoki, Deputy Secretary General WZWF, Dr. Muhammad Ayub Mia, Deputy Secretary General WZWF, Mr. Zainul Abidin KJ, Deputy Secretary General WZWF, and Mr. Anas Nasihin MSE, Secretary of Indonesian Waqf Board. And we are honored to have Mr. Salahuddin Ahmad, Commissioner of Indonesia Waqf Board, as our moderator for these discussions. This discussion will only be held for 40 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What is the role of WZWF in strengthening the world Waqf movement for the common prosperity within its members? We talked to the representative of Waqf bodies from several countries: Indonesia, Bangladesh, South Africa, Nigeria, which are representing Muslims in Asia and Africa, which account for more than 80% of the total Muslim worldwide. Hello and welcome to the plenary session 5, which is the session of World Zakat World Forum 2024, which is an international forum and collaboration between WZWF, Bank of Indonesia, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Republik Indonesia, Indonesian Waqf Board, and National Zakat Board in participant countries. I'm Salahuddin Ahmad from Indonesian Waqf Board. This is an open forum and we invite dialogue between the special guests and audience. Let's begin with the introduction. The first one is Mr. Anas Nasihin. Mr. Nasihin is Secretary of Indonesian Waqf Board. He has a master degree and graduated from most prestigious leadership school in Indonesia, Lemhanas, and spending many years in as expert and consultant. He is founder of the Probolinggo Farmer Association to advocate and to improve their life and incomes. Welcome to this forum, Mr. Nasihin. Assalamualaikum. Next is Mr. Dr. Muhammad Ayub Mia. Dr. Mia, 69 years old. He was Bangladesh. Is master in political science and has PhD in public administration. Currently, Mr. Mia is CEO of Center for Zakat Management, CZM Bangladesh. Assalamualaikum, Mr. Mia. Next is the Mr. Zainul Abidin Jaji. Mr. Jaji is from South Africa and has education in Master in Education, funding of CEO National Waqf Foundation in South Africa, and established Waqf Foundation Mauritius as well. Mr. Jaji also maintained and moderating Waqf Academy ORG and online Waqf course from almost 20 years ago. Welcome to this forum. And then Mr. Lawal Muhammad Maidoki. He is Nigerian, Secretary of WZWF, has bachelor's and master degree in agriculture, and active members in Azawad, Nigeria, Global Zakat Union, Khartoum, Sudan, and Fosua WZWF. Welcome to this forum, Mr. Maidoki. Waalaikumsalam. We start with the first question to Mr. Chaji. What it means for you, the global Waqf movement, why it is important, and why we need to push the global Waqf movement for you.
Assalamu alaikum and rahmatullah. I think that, first of all, Assalamu alaikum and thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. The global Waqf movement, I think, is essential because we need to now look at how the colonial system has dismantled the Waqf system for the Muslim world. And I'd like a video to be played, if it's possible. Brother Ibrahim Mugis, is it possible to play that video? And I'd like to emphasize this point that we have had a history of Islamic civilization that has grown from the time of the Prophet ﷺ in almost every country in the world. But then came colonialism and dismantled, decimated the system, took it out of our culture, took it out of our minds, and we've heard from several speakers saying that what is in our minds is really basically about a Quran, a masjid, but we've forgotten the civilizational part of the whole Waqf system and how it has developed universities, knowledge, science, technology over the years. So we are now at a point, and I think this has started probably about 25, 30 years ago, where we are now beginning to re-look at and reinventing this whole Waqf system. It's about time that we did a kind of reset, a reboot, and a refresh of the whole Waqf movement. So to get back and to empower the whole Muslim Ummah, it's now essential that globally, and we found this in terms of experience, almost everywhere in the world, wherever we go, the issue is, and the challenge is always about knowledge, awareness, not only about basics, but we need to now restart and relook at how we can start educating people, bringing more awareness from the cradle to the grave about the Waqf and Zakah systems.
Thank you for the answer. Next to Mr. Nasihin, as the representative of BWI in Indonesia, and Indonesia is the most populous Muslim country with about almost 150 million Muslim in Indonesia. What it mean, the global movement for the people in Indonesia?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for moderator. I think that Waqf and Zakat and the others are like infak, sedekah. This is how to be a lifestyle for us. Because as you know that when in the Prophet era, Sahaba learn us about how to manage zakat and waqf together. For example, they do not land, building, plants, and some halls for the development of science and the expansion of Islam. So we have to learn from Sahabat. There are ma min ashabi Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam dhu magdaratin illa waqafa. So I think that zakat and waqf, infak and sedekah, how to be lifestyle for Muslim in the world. Because before the nation state, the world is one. And so, as a Muslim, we are the one community. No Indonesia, nothing Malaysia, nothing Africa, but all of us is a Muslim in one community. So we have to collaborate. Management of Waqf and Zakat in every nation to collaborate. Maybe Indonesian Waqf Board to collaborate with Mr. Ayub in Bangladesh and the other nation and the other place. So every Muslim can support to the other Muslim in another place. And I see no difference between Waqf and Zakat, infak and sedekah. Maybe, as you know that the principle of Zakat is, as you know, Zakat is mandatory because it's required by Sharia. But Waqaf, infak and sedekah is on pure voluntary, as you know. And then Zakat managed to Asnafus Samania, that you know, for the need, basic need from for basic need, Muslim basic need, and then for example to sudden need, such as natural disaster, earthquake, tsunamis, etc. And then Waqf is directed to meet long-term need from Muslim. So we know that management of Waqf is to support to a long-term Muslim need, last to, for example, to development of madrasa and mosque, and the others to how to development of science, and then so we know that in Waqf and Zakat there are some value to Muslim, to engagement themselves to be with ikhlasunia. I mean ikhlasunia, and then to be a good Muslim or shuhada. I mean, so this spirit, how to be habit from every Muslim around the world. So I see Mr. Salahuddin that so important cooperation between Waqf and Zakat in one roof management system, and maybe with collaboration between nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nasihin. Next, we turn to Mr. Maidoki. As representing Nigeria, Nigeria is a federal state with many states, their own policies, different strategies. How you will align and the policies in Waqf in Nigeria to align and to comply with the global Waqf movement?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The moderator and my colleagues, we thank Allah the most merciful and the most beneficent. Nigeria, as one of the countries in Africa, and in particular belonging to the West African nations, are not very new to Islam. We are old as Islam is in the 10th century. And we are Muslims, and we are majority Muslims. And we have Islam and Zakah with us, together with the Islam that came from Saudi Arabia, as we all know. And some of our laws, including like the constitutions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, recognize the freedom of religion and also recognize Waqf in section 273. And likewise, other nations within and around the region. And there has been the impact of colonialism as it has affected most of us here. And in that, Zakat and Waqf were jettisoned in the expense of tax. Now, with the awareness all over the world, the Islamic resurgence, many of our countries, especially in Nigeria, when we return to political administration over the long period of military rule, then Sharia was recognized again in many states. Like in Nigeria, we have 36 states with the seventh one, the Federal Capital Territory. And since then, there has been an awakening of Zakat and Waqf activities at a different scale. But remember, we already have the normal Waqf system, as we know, the masajid, the cemeteries, and the schools. Then likewise now, we have been able to come over and over, particularly when the World Zakat and Waqf Forum was formed, and we were invited by colleagues from Indonesia to join. And since then, around 2016, there has been rapid uprising and reawakening on the practices of Zakat and Waqf across the West African region and even across the world. And that's why today you can see the Nigerian delegates to this conference. We are not less than 25, including a sitting governor. And this is not the first time. Permit me to let you know, I know we have a short of time, but since we came in contact with the World Zakat and Waqf Forum, I think every DSG should know this. And if we had worked in the same, probably we would have shared so much a common prosperity among us. The BAZNAS, who are our gateway, took our hand. BAZNAS did not give us money, but gave us the training. My first coming, I was taken to Bogor, to Sokobumi, to Jogja, to Surabaya, apart from the internal, and connected us with the BMTs and then also the Pondoks. And this has culminated into strong ties between us and the Indonesians. The Indonesian ambassador in Nigeria visited my state about 4 times. And we have 2 governors from that time visiting Indonesia. And today we have ulama, sizable ulama and zakat practitioners visiting Indonesia. And through them we learned even artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is one of the projects that is now going on between Nigeria and Indonesia, courtesy of World Zakat and Waqf Forum, friendship and partnership. And we also not only have that, we have the concept of the cat village. And the relationship are becoming stronger and stronger. We have students studying various courses, undergraduate, postgraduate, here in Indonesia. And now, even after this conference, we are meeting Nahdlatul Ulama, we are meeting Muhammadiyah, and we are also meeting Council of Ulama. And this relationship is waxing stronger and stronger. The same thing with Badan Waqf Indonesia. This has just, started. And I would like you to know that in Malaysia it's not different. In Malaysia, through the IWaqf, through the IIUM, Dr. Ghazali and others, and through Lambaga Zakat Nagari Keda, we were able to establish and transfer the knowledge of the administration, collection, distribution, and finance in IT taught by Lambaga Zakat Nagari Keda. And they are smart agriculture, as well as being the league for the students in Al-Bukhari International University. Today we have not less than 70 students in Al-Bukhari International University, courtesy of World Zakat and Waqf Forum program. There are others, of course, like the Fintera, the Go Baraka, and also the Felda in Malaysia. In Saudi, I wouldn't like to say much, but we also have, including the Bank Indonesia. And when you come to the Waqf South Africa, as well as, the Islamic Development Bank, right now, 4 training courses is being organized by Islamic Development Bank, supported. And 4 study tour on different models of Zakat and Waqf management is also being organized. There is so much to mention. So sharing the common prosperity is very, very good. And definitely it has strengthened us more than you expect, and including all my colleagues that you see there. Even this conference that they attended today, from yesterday to today, they have been exposed to so many activities and programs that we feel when we go back home, not only us, our brothers and sisters from Liberia, some couldn't even make it because of visa issues. So
Okay.
I rest my case here. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you,
warahmatullah.
Mr. Maidoki. Now we turn to Dr. Mia. Dr. Mia is the founder of CGN Bangladesh. In 2022, CGN is providing more than 15,000 scholarships to students and become the biggest body to provide scholarship to students in Bangladesh. What do you think how to spread the strategies and the methods to become the biggest provider of scholarship, and is it possible to spread among the members of WZWF?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem. Dear moderator, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Before going to reply his questions very specifically, let me first give you a short picture about the Zakat and Waqf management in Bangladesh. In fact, in the government sector, there is one Zakat board. It's very poor and it has got no credibility to the public. Again, it is not mandatory for the citizens to pay their Zakat to this board. In Waqf administrator's office is also in a very shabby condition. It has got no adequate manpower, no resources, and a lot of other even lack of regulatory regimes as there. In the private sector, there are thousands of informal organizations, particularly the religious educational institutions, those who are collecting zakat for supporting the poor students and sometimes the orphanages as well. Contrary to this spectrum of the two types of organization, the government and the traditional private sector, Center for Zakat Management, where I am working for 15 years as CEO, has did an exceptional thing. It has overcome these three shortcomings. Number one, it has got high reputation to the society because of its transparency and all methodical project formulation and its implementation, and it has got very trained and skilled manpower as well. In fact, we have developed some programs. First, in fact, as per the suggestion of the one paper of Islamic Development Bank, we just grouped our mustahiks into two. Number one is unproductive, those who are not capable to earn anything. We just provide them the basic necessity of life, food, healthcare, and a lot of other things. On the contrary, the productive people, we provide them the Zakat fund directly as equity fund. And we provide them the skill and training so that they can earn effectively for their livelihood. Number two, we just allocate most of the resources for education. 53% of our zakat and sadaqah has been gone to education sector. We are the largest stipend provider in the university level. Right now, we have already been provided 16,000 undergraduate students in the public universities. And we also run about 14 schools and madrasas. And our slogan is quality education for the underprivileged people. Because we strongly believe if you can just educate one children in a particular household, a particular mustahik family, they can build up their family in a very sustainable way. So that is the secret. In fact, the most credible thing of our organization is just we have just built an institution for management of zakat. That's all. Thank you.
Regarding to the scholarship that you developed in Bangladesh, because do you develop a platform to help the fundraising program for the student for the scholarship, and how it cover the fundraising? It is local in Bangladesh, or also accepting donation from the Bangladesh diaspora worldwide?
Yeah, in fact, number one, we have been successful to motivate some corporate houses. As many as about 40 corporate houses are involved with us. They are providing their zakat fund as well as their CSR fund to us so that we can private students to the university and as well as in the school level. We have, in fact, still we are providing students, those who are studying in Al-Azhar University. Right now, 53 students are getting a scholarship from our fund. And in Malaysia, there are 4 PhD students are also getting fund from us. And some students, those who are studying in China as well. In fact, we have another interesting thing. The orphans are the most vulnerable community in the society. Particularly, the girl orphans are very, very vulnerable. We did not build up an orphanage. Rather, we built up some girls' boarding school. And we provide them stipends, and they are living there, and they are just getting quality education there as well. And there are some schools like this are right now operating in my country. Thank you.
Thank you. We back to Mr. Chaji. We are witnessing the global change in the global politics. South Africa is the initiator of BRICS countries now, and we are witnessing change in strengthening economic in China. What do you think the impact of these geopolitical changes on the global Waqf movement?
Okay. um, look, I think what we're looking at is basically wealth creation and collaboration between different countries in terms of economic development. And I think BRICS is basically about economic development and creating a multipolar world. But how it's going to be impacting on the Waqf sector is another story, because I think that each community, each country would have to take their destiny into their own hands and start enabling themselves with enabling legislation, taxation, and other issues that will facilitate the growth and development of the Waqf sector. And primarily, when we're looking at minority Muslim communities, I think the responsibility lies with the NGO sector, and particularly with the religious leaders and community activists, community leaders, to foster and to promote the whole Waqf system. If we don't do this, I think we actually shooting ourselves in the leg, because ultimately, if we want to grow, we have to change our mindsets, we have to change our attitudes towards the types of charity that we are giving and how we are giving that charity. So the issue is, apart from the wealth creation, and of course, if there's more wealth, there's more giving as well. People will be able to give more, because once we also have a good tax regime, for example, in South Africa, donors are able to get tax deductions. The NGO, like ourselves, Waqf South Africa, are tax-exempt institutions. So, and there are corporates that get tax allowances as well. So from their revenues, they are able to give a certain amount as Waqf as well. And we are seeing that trend actually growing, where companies are actually giving more. I think another point with regard to Muslim minorities is that minorities are always in some way have certain challenges apart from the Muslim majority countries. Muslim minorities do face threats. They do face Islamophobia. Those are racism is part of the issue in Muslim minorities, and I think our duty as minorities is also to become influential, to become benevolent, to become a community that becomes caring, and as our theme of this conference is also about compassion and showing, promoting social justice, and also, I think, just promoting the message of Islam in the country. So, if we look at the big picture, I think Muslim minorities have a big role to play, and in South Africa, probably has got the best legal system in terms of Muslim religious rights, that we are completely free to develop ourselves and to grow and to propagate. So, whatever opportunities we have need to be used in a maximum way. Inshallah.
Right. As the mention is very, very interesting about the minority of Muslim in South Africa. So what do you think, because of the minority of Muslim in South Africa, do you need WZWF to affiliate with the global Muslim organization like OIC to enable helping the Muslim minority to help by the regulation, by the government, talk to government if there is anything that required by to G relationship in this one?
If we get The IDB, I think, first of all, the IDB has been playing a role.
Okay.
For example, in South Africa, and I know in other countries as well, in New
Okay.
Zealand, they have also played
Okay.
a role. The
IOC,
IDB,
IOC, Islamic
OIC,
yes.
yes. So some of the OIC institutions, well, IDB is a OIC institution. OIC hasn't really played an active role, but
Okay.
some of their subsidiary organizations like the IRSICA, which is the Organization for Islamic History, Culture, Arts and Heritage, we've been having international congresses in South Africa.
Okay.
So also to promote the study of Islamic civilization in the Southern African region. So, sorry, the OIC has played that type of role, but South Africa is not a member of the OIC. It's regarded as a non-member Muslim community. We're trying to actually get at least even observer status.
Okay, thank you. We back to Mr. Nasihin. What do you think that supposed to be initiative from Indonesia to WZWF to strengthen WZWF?
Okay. As you know that some nation, some countries, not only in Indonesia, but for example in another countries, another Muslim countries, need to one issues about Waqf and Zakat as a tool to support Muslim development countries, you know, and then we know that spirit of Waqf entered to our government, for example, to program SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. That we know that Waqf is sustainability, you know. So we can enter spirit of Islam to every government, how to make Waqf and Zakat to be a tool on government program in every country. So we can make WZWF as a forum silaturahim between Muslim countries. As we know, before nation state, many countries collaborated with some agenda to pilgrim, maybe in Mecca. So for example, Indonesia, when the Muslim in Indonesia want to go to Mecca, they are across Malacca, Malacca is Malaysia, no? Malacca and then India and then Sri Lanka. And so they collaborate, they discuss with several Muslim community to engage the Muslim value to be a spirit, how to make Muslim community is more developed in their agenda to education and the others. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. We go to Mr. Maidoki as the deputy of WZWF. I want to hear what you think that supposed to be initiative from the members of the organization to contribute to the WZWF.
Well, first of all, I think WZWF Secretariat need to evaluate the membership and the categories of the membership, and then try to be very close and strengthen the regions. All the Deputy Secretary General should be strengthened in a way and manner that it is possible either physically or virtually. And there should be a Marshall Plan to reach out, in achieving the 2050 strategy so far put on ground. And there should be annual subscription and also all the necessary support where Indonesia can help, it should help without hesitation. Where Malaysia can help, should help without hesitation. How are we, the Islamic Development Bank, recognize this and set aside some funds to assist in the management of the WZWF, and then creating more programs, both online and physical, revive the newsletter. We have monthly newsletter of World Zakat and Waqf Forum, which we had before. And then the online university should be more strengthened, even in partnership with other existing organizations. And then there should be monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly meeting of the World Zakat and Waqf program, forum, and then the DSGs must to give a report of what is done. And there should be a criteria of what to give report on, so that we can be able to assess ourselves as to what level are we moving. And where there are deficiencies, there should be collective effort to help them, because we are different. Some are just beginners, while some have already gone far, like Indonesia and some other places like Malaysia. So finally, I think the issue of research, coordination, and of course standing on what we have said yesterday, issue of knowledge and advocacy on the importance of these two sectors, in particular Zakat and Waqf and other Islamic social finance, should be strengthened across the world. And I forgot to mention that Angkasa in Malaysia has been the Faidu portal of one of our two projects, that is School Mosque Cooperative and a school cooperative, Waqf Cooperative, and the Mosque Waqf Cooperative. These are very essential initiatives that are worth emulation and sharing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you. Then we go to Mr. Mia. Dr. Mia, about what do you think the future of WZWF? What will be the future challenges, roles of this organization?
Thank you very much. I would like to refer yesterday's Excellency, our Secretary General's visionary speech. He mentioned that he's dreaming for Zakat and Waqf Order 2050. I think this vision should be materialized with the collaboration of all the member countries and organizations. Let us first start with establishing permanent headquarters of WZWF. Let us start with Waqf donation. I think any Muslim country, suppose if it may be Indonesia or Malaysia or Saudi Arabia, any Muslim country will offer any land as Waqf. And we can just request Islamic Development Bank for building the infrastructure for the headquarters of WZWF. And this is nothing new. In Bangladesh, Dhaka, IDB has already developed one huge infrastructure as IDB Bhavan, IDB building. And all the United Nations offices and international many organizations offices are located there. And ICT market is also there. And they got they get huge rent and revenues from this building. And with this fund, they implement the scholarship funds for vocational trainings, particularly the ICT. And you will be happy to know more than 10,000 programmers have been already produced from this stipend fund. So I think Brother Dr. Saleh Al-Wazi can help us materializing our dream that we should have a permanent headquarter of WZWF. And with second, I would like to suggest that we need to have global fund for Waqf and Zakat. You see, without your financial strength, you cannot move. Yesterday, I talked to Dr. Hizbul Jainal regarding the online Zakat University. Man, he was telling that we suffer lack of fund. It's really very painful. The Muslim country, many Muslim countries have huge resources, underutilized or unutilized. That can be utilized for the welfare of the Ummah. And I think immediately we should take initiative to develop world or global Waqf fund and Zakat fund, so that we can support our brothers and sisters who are suffering in Gaza or in Rohingya or many other places as well. And particularly for poverty alleviation as well as implementing the SDGs. So number 3, in fact, many of our speakers yesterday and today have mentioned about advocacy, promoting Zakat literacy, and also research in academics and other things. Yesterday I mentioned that one of our friend in Manchester University, UK, was mentioning that the Islamic economy has not yet been considered as the global economics mainstream. So we need to put our intellect in terms of research and innovation and creation in different forms of economic order. In fact, the young generations right now, all over the world, particularly they are fed up. They are fed up with the capitalistic exploitative economics where the moral and ethical values are absent. So if we can just promote the ethical and moral values of Zakat, Waqf and other Islamic social sciences, it can draw attention to the whole world and to the overall global scholars as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Mia. Because of the limitation of time, I will allow to take question. One question. Please, audience, raise your hand. One question, please, because we have one. Okay, go ahead. Microphone, please. Please mention names and panels that you want to ask.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Zainuddin. I'm from
New
Zealand delegation.
Go ahead.
We just what our delegate from speaker from Bangladesh was saying. We had on the 15th of March 2019, 51 of our New Zealand citizens and residents were slaughtered in the mosque in Christchurch. And myself and Brother Fish, we handled the fundraising, and we were the steps son of all the Muslim countries. Only 1 or 2 Muslim countries responded financially, and most of them are giving us words of comfort. Alhamdulillah, our youth came into...
Please, to the question, please.
Yeah, and what we wanted to do, we want to ask you whether we could have this, what our brother from Bangladesh was saying, this fund, international fund that we need. Maybe we can come up with, say, 1% of your zakat goes into this. You know? It has to be on that basis. Then this emergency fund will always be there. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah. Dr. Mia.
Yep. I think there are many problems in developing a global fund, philanthropy fund. In fact, one initiative has already been taken. I think last year in New York, in the UN sessions like this. I think there are a lot of avenues as well where we can just develop our fund. But the serious problem is risk of transfer, because there are legal barriers in different countries in a different way. Suppose I am just mentioning in Gaza, we need to send relief. In Bangladesh, it's not very easy to transfer your money to any particular countries without the permission of the government. And again, if you want to get the permission, they have some global diplomatic relation and other implications as well. So there are global critical political situation is also responsible for our initiative to be materialized.
Okay. Thank you. The second one, and the second, yes, okay. Microphone, please. In the front, the second desk in front.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Following Mr. Lawal Muhammad Masduki, he was mentioning about Ankasa's role regarding the school cooperative and also mosque cooperative. We have other things that we want to extend. Another one is halal products, and this Waqf too in Zakat. We are trying to popularize not only in Malaysia but to the world. I'd like to share, this thing can happen only through leadership, effective leadership and effective management. These are the two requirements for what we can establish and what we can play our role, not only in our region, but also in the globe. I'd like to share 5S. We have to inbuild ourselves, following our president, our chair. First, S, Sharia. We must inbuild inside oneself about...
The question, please.
Sorry, first S is Shahada, Allah and Muhammad. Number 2S, Salat. It's compulsory Salat and also Sunat Salat. Number 3, Saum, fasting. Number 4, this is number 4, okay. Sadaqah. Sadaqah wajib, zakat, and also sadaqah, all sunat like we are Waqf and other sadaqah. This is inbuilt within our system. The 5 pillars of Islam, we have to rejuvenate. And
Please,
the last
focus to the question, please.
Solidarity. We have to show our strength, our solidarity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Badoki.
Thank
1
you
minute.
very much. I think I will take him later to discuss and know more about other initiatives. But so far, cooperative Waqf, mosque cooperative Waqf, and school cooperative Waqf are even 2 models that we are going to discuss in the forthcoming Nigerian annual conference in one of our states, in Hadija Jigawa state. And we are looking forward inviting Ankasa in Africa to discuss more on this, because they have succeeded in that. And these are some of the prosperity that we need to share among ourselves. And thank you very much, Ankasa, and all other distinguished brothers and sisters in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in South Africa, in Saudi, who have stood by us to get up to this far. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Madoki. Finally, we reached to the end of this session because the tight time for the next session, right? So we need to strengthen the collaboration between country members of WZWF, not only between countries, but also between the organization, Waqf organization, Zakat organization. I think, thank you very much for all panelists here. Welcome. Thank you very much again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Salahuddin Ahmad and the speakers. And I would like to invite Bapak Muhibbuddin as the Secretary of WZWF program to deliver the tokens of appreciation to our esteemed speakers and moderator. For our photographer, we can take picture in 1, 2, 3. Once more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. You may return to your seats.